Okay, this is a Kubota U35-4. I've got to change out the hydraulic return filter in here. It's at 250 hours. That's where the service is due. This is the O-ring that goes here on the top of the tank. I got it just in case. It's probably reusable, but I got it in case I do need to change mine. That's the part number for the return filter itself. And I've never done this job. I don't think it's going to be very difficult, but we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing is blow off all the dust so we don't get it down into the tank. Keep everything clean. Alright. And then the next thing that I want to do is I'm actually going to try to leave maybe this hose on and just pick it up. But I know we're gonna have to pop this hose off, so I'm gonna put an old shirt under the hose so I don't have fluid running everywhere. There we go. And then just a plain Phillips screwdriver. And all I'm doing, I'm loosening the clamp here that matches this one. Go ahead and loosen this side too. I'll see if I can slip it back. Well, actually, I can't really reach in there for these hoses. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these off. And for that, for this first one, I've got 2 3/4 inch wrenches. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hold on to this one and then loosen this one. There's that. Let me grab a napkin. Okay. Okay, so that was really clean. I didn't expect that. I'll just set this up here out of the way. And then for this next one over here, it's also a 3/4 to take the hose off. But I've got a 9/16 to hold this little fitting so I don't put too much pressure on it. Same thing, we'll just break it loose. Get these wrenches out of the way. I'm actually going to mark these. So I'll just put us a correlate number on each one and go ahead and pull this thing off. Also very clean. And just so these things are not like getting back in my way when I'm pulling this reservoir and stuff off, I've actually got some zip ties, and I'm gonna zip tie them back. So those are off, and then let's see if we can get this hose here pushed back and popped off. It's loose, it's just not actually popping off. I'm thinking it may be easier to just pull these bolts, lift this up and pop it off as it's coming out. So for those, I've got a 14mm socket. Have to break them loose by hand. These have never been taken off. I don't know what the torque is. I'll get a couple wrenches to stack in there and see if I can get it with that. Again, it's a 14mm. Get these out of my way. There we go. That's a good angle. That's neat. The zip tie actually has a little press bar that you can push to undo it. I've never seen one like that. You can actually pop it right off. And I'm going to attempt to lift this up and pop this off at the same time. See if I can take another zip tie right here and just zip this thing off to the hydraulic body, keep it up out of my way. Yeah, that's gonna work really good. That just keeps that held up over there and I don't have to worry about it. Of course, we have another shop towel. I like my machine and my work area to stay pretty clean. Yeah, there we go. Yes, that works. So you can leave it attached up here on the big line and then just slide it back. That actually worked out quite well. So one thing I seen when looking these up, on the bottom side of the filter, some of them have a place for a socket and some of them do not. So this one from the factory appears to be one that does not have it. As you can see here on the bottom, it don't have a place for a socket, so we're gonna have to try to get a wrench. It's got some threads up here. We'll try to get a wrench on that. I first need to take out this bolt. Okay, so that one's a 12mm. Okay, that gets that bracket off. And then we'll be able to get an adjustable wrench on here and just spin that filter loose. So I do have a shop press. I'm actually just going to go ahead and try to clamp this down in there. And very gently, of course, and see if I can get it bound up inside this press and then get it off. So we're just going to kind of clamp it right there and see how that does. So it started, so that did actually work. I plan to get a bench vise. I plan to have a shop and stuff at some point, but right now I don't have one. So kind of got to make do with what I got. And this got the job done, so I'm not upset about it. There it is. Again, here's your new one. And it has the part number here on the front. And we'll go ahead and get this cleaned. We'll make sure there's no dirt or anything inside. And we'll go ahead and get this thing put back on. So this little plate just goes around the threads on the top of that and keeps it from backing off. And I don't think this filter has to be overly tight. But you do have to line up this plate to where the threads will fit on. Or where it fits over the threads, I'm sorry. Okay, that done it. And if you look right here, you can see what I was doing. That little plate just fits over top of the nut on top, keeps it from backing off. So we'll get this back on the machine now. Okay guys, so this O-ring is sits right here in the top. It actually looks perfectly fine. So I'm gonna just leave it be. And I'll save my new one in case I need it in the future, or if it starts leaking, I'll go ahead and change it out now. You know, we're on the next job, but it looks fine, so I'm gonna leave it alone, and we're gonna get this thing started back together because it looks like it's gonna storm here. Just get everything cleaned up and wiped off, and go ahead and insert it back into the tank. Okay, cut this loose. Just pop that hose right back in really easy, and I'll go ahead and tighten it on. Okay, I've just restarted the bolts. I'm gonna snug them down real quick. I'm just kind of snugging them down, you know. I apologize, I don't have a torque spec for this. I don't think it's extremely important, and they don't have to be probably even as tight as they were from the factory. And that's actually an easier way to do that. I just hadn't realized just put an extension through. I'm gonna say that's plenty tight enough. If there's a leak, we'll address it down the road, but we should be okay. All right, don't forget to tighten down this clamp back here. Yeah, just a little snug. Those don't have to be extremely tight either. Go ahead and put this one back on for this wire over here. Okay, and then we'll find the line we marked number 2. Get it back on first. That's it there. So just line those 2s back up. Actually, I need to make sure there's no dirt in it. Line those 2s back up and then snug it down. Get our other line on, get it snug back down. Alrighty, and guys, that's it. Now we just need to start it up, make sure nothing's leaking or messed up. It'll be good to go, ready to go back into service. So here's a closer look at everything now that I'm done. This is the clamps I took loose. These, you get the point. I'm not going to go in grave detail about it, but that's everything I took loose, and I've tested it. It's not leaking. I'll keep an eye on it over the next 10 or so service hours, and I better go ahead and get my stuff packed in because we got a storm coming. See ya.